In the following video, you will learn how to access library resources for your antibiotic susceptibility project in Bio 225. You're currently looking at the college's website. You can find a link to the library under Quick Links. When you get to the library's website, scroll down and locate the LibGuides tab. LibGuides are specially designed sites created by HGTC librarians to help you find the best resources for a specific assignment. In the drop-down menu where it asks which guide do you need, select the Bio 225 All Professors Guide and click Go. There are a lot of links that you will find on this guide, but this video will highlight the ones that will be most useful to you in this assignment. You'll notice that there are tabs running along the center of the page. You use these tabs to navigate your way around the guide. The first tab that we're going to look at is the eBooks tab. Our library subscribes to some ebook collections that give you entries out of books, and we also subscribe to some collections that are complete ebooks. The first thing that we're going to look at on this tab is the Credo Reference ebook collection. Credo gives you entries from reference books. It's a great starting point for research on a topic. For example, we could go in this search box and search for antibiotic resistance. All of the results that come up are entries about antibiotic resistance out of a specific book. So you don't have to look at the whole book, just the entry on the topic that you searched for. When you find one that looks good, you can click on it, and it will take you to that individual entry. And please note that at the top of the page, you'll find a citations link that you can click on that provides you with a suggested APA-style citation. Double check these for accuracy before including them in your final references list. Also, if you wish to maintain a copy of this, the easiest thing to do is to click on the Share button and email it to yourself. Then you'll always have a copy in your inbox. A little further down on the eBooks tab, you'll find EBSCO eBook Collection and eBook Central. These are our two largest eBook collection providers, as they include almost 400,000 ebooks between the two of them. So, for example, we might go into eBook Central, and maybe you wish to search for information about your specific bacterium, or maybe one of the antibiotics that you are researching. I've typed in the name of an antibiotic. Here you can see I've got my results list, and if you see a book that looks good to you, simply click on the title, and you can go in and immediately start reading the book, or you can look at the table of contents to try and find the specific area in the book that would be relevant to your needs. And then when you go in, you can see the book here on the right-hand side, and your citation link is this link here that looks like quotation marks. Again, do make sure that you're grabbing the APA-style citation for the source. Double check it again for accuracy. Going back to the LibGuide, we're now going to move over to the Databases tab. Databases are resources that contain information that was originally published in journals, magazines, newspapers, books. So you can basically think of them as online versions of the information you would traditionally find in a library. On this page at the top, you'll notice that there are science databases and health databases. Both would be good to use for this assignment. You'll probably find a little bit more in the allied health databases on the right-hand side of the page. We're going to look at two of those right now. The first one that we're going to look at is called Health and Medicine. Health and Medicine is made by a company named Gale, And a lot of our databases have search pages that look like this. So while you're only seeing this one database here, know that some of the other databases that you may go into have similar looking search pages. One of the other nice things about the library's databases is that as you start typing in your search, the database has predictive searching and will potentially suggest what it was that you were looking for. So I'm going to click on the name of this bacteria, and you can see it automatically does the search for me. Now, everything that we've got is listed up here at the top of the page. We have close to 4,000 journal articles, as well as some magazines, books, and newspaper articles. Understand that journal articles are where the latest research is going to be published on the topic that you searched for. Experts in the field will traditionally write articles about something that they are researching, and those are published in journals. Now, right now, as I said, we have almost 4,000 journal articles. One of the things that you may want to do is consider limiting to more recent publications. And the easy way to do that is over here on the right-hand side, where you click on publication date, and you can put in a range, like say the most recent 5 years worth of articles. So I maybe will go back to 2017. And then as a little bit of a trick, one of the things that you can do is put next year in as the end date, because then it will give you any publications that happened all throughout the current year. So now you can see my list has gone down to about 1,600 journal articles. And the other categories have also gone down too. And so now it's just a case of scrolling through and finding articles that you think fit exactly what you're looking for. Don't stop after just the first page, because there could be a very good article on the second, third, fourth, fifth, however long in the results page. You may find a good-looking article. So let's take a look at this one right here. Determination of the antibiotic resistance rates of this particular bacterium. So if we click on that, it'll take us directly into that journal article that was published within the last 5 years. And similar to what we saw when we were looking at the ebooks, here at the top of the page is your Cite button. You'll click on that and grab the APA style citation that you see listed here. Again, double checking it for accuracy. If you do wish to maintain a copy of this particular article, click on the Send To link and email it to yourself. And again, then you'll always be able to bring up a copy from your own inbox. Going back to our original search, if we were to take that first search that we just did a moment ago, one of the other ways that we could narrow down our results list is by adding more search terms to our search. And the way that you add more search terms is simply by using the word "and" in your search. It's going to be capitalized here on the screen, but understand that if you did it lowercase, this would also work just as fine. So I'm going to add the name of an antibiotic. So now every result that comes back will include not just information about this bacterium, but every article that comes back will also mention this antibiotic. So you'll see that our results list is much smaller in all of these categories. And again, the journal articles are where the most recent research is published, and I could again limit that by publication date and get this number down even further. The other database that you're going to see in this video is called CINAHL Complete. It's also in the health databases side. CINAHL is made by a company called EBSCO. They also make a lot of our databases. So if you try some of the other databases on your LibGuide, the search pages may look like this one. And your searching of this database is similar in concept to the first one, and the features are also very similar. You just have to know where they're located on the screen. One of the things that it does have is predictive searching. So as I start to type in my bacterium, I can automatically let the database do the searching for me by using their predictive search. Your date limiter is over here on the left-hand side. They actually have a scroll wheel, so you can just slide it up to the date that you want. And then it will update the list for you. So I've gotten a smaller number of results back now because I've limited myself to the last 5 years. The other thing that you can do is you can also limit by publication type, and that's over here on the left-hand side under the date limiter. So if I wanted to get rid of these 6 magazine articles, all I would have to do is put a check mark next to the academic journals. And then again, it's very similar to the last database in that you're going through all of the results to try and find one that looks good to you based on the topic that you're searching for. So let's say this one looked good to you. When you click on it, your links to read it in full text are over here on the left-hand side. Sometimes you may only see one full text link, sometimes you may see 2, including the PDF, which is just a scanned copy of the journal exactly as it originally looked in print. And then over here on the right-hand side, here's your email button to send it to yourself. And then here's your cite button, where you will again make sure that you grab the APA style citation. And just like with the last database, if I had wanted to, I could have added the word and built something else on to this search to make it more specific in terms of what it's looking for. Lastly, while I'm not going to go into any of them in this video, you may want to take a look at some of the science databases as well as some of the health ones that were not covered in this particular video. On the science side, the ones that probably would have a decent amount of information include the Applied Science database, the science database from Gale, Science Reference Center, as well, is another good one to try. Lastly, if you need any assistance from the library, the Get Help tab at the end of your LibGuide provides you with all the methods for contacting the library for assistance, be it email, chat, call, or text. We're here to help you, so if you need assistance, please let us know, and we'll be happy to point you in the right direction for what you're looking for. Thanks for watching.